Hey guys, Rob from the Off-Grid Tiny House. Want to show you something I got from Wish. I didn't actually unbox it on camera because it actually came in like the package was like pretty much transparent. So that was kind of strange, but I'll grab the item. I didn't do the unboxing on camera because really there wasn't much to see. Just a second here. Here it is. This is a 24 full spectrum LED grow light that's really powerful, and it runs off USB power, if you can believe that. I've been using this on my the plants I started in the winter time, just here in the far room in the back window, and this thing works great. The plants actually move towards it when it's on, so that's a big that's a big huge example of how you know these things work. So what I want to do, I'm right now right here on the receptacle, I'm just charging up my power pack. Because I actually have been using my power pack heavily to run this. And my plants face a back window here, so they're getting some light, not a lot, from outside. So what I do is I plant the power pack, or I put this in the power pack, and I shoot it outdoors towards the window, so the light is hitting the plants from both sides, kind of, and that's how I figured that'd be the best. What I have right now, though, is I have my kilowatt meter, and I have just a USB 120 volt to USB, and I want to see what kind of reading I get on the meter here to tell me what kind of stuff we're dealing with. Now, unfortunately, I got to pull this charger for now because this thing, it wants to take up the entire receptacle area here. So let's do this. Now, obviously, it's going to come on. Super powerful. Now, I got to zoom the camera in so you guys can get a decent reading of what this thing is drawing, if it even shows up. So right now, 0.04 amps, and it's holding steady at that. Power factor of 4 watts. It's jumping between 4 and 6 watts. Maybe that will steady out as it... Yeah, see, now it's at 4. It's holding at 4 now. As it warms up, oh, jump to 6. Okay, now we're on 6. We're on watts, not power factor. We're on 6 watts at 0. Let's go back to amps. 120 volts. 0.04 amps. 4 watt power factor. 6 watts max. So it's jumping between the 4 and the 6 watts. So it's reading at most 6 watts, and that unit is quite awesome. So this is pretty efficient. It actually jumped, it's actually went up to, it's trying to get to 5 amps, 0.05 amps at the moment. So it's kind of jumping around a little bit, guys. And this thing gets extremely warm where I can't even grab it and pick it up after the fact. So what I want to do now that we know the readings of this thing, I'm going to zoom out. This actually gave a reading, so it actually does draw enough to show you. I'm just going to, hopefully this does not damage the camera, but you can kind of see Okay, there we go. It's full spectrum. So it's got the red, the blue lights. It's 24 count LEDs in there. If I shut this light off, you can tell this thing throws the light like nobody's business. Now, let me set the camera down. Talk to you guys a little bit more about this. This thing works so well, guys. I'm just going to unplug it for now. Just in that a little bit of time, you can... This is warm to the touch right now. So this unit, I believe when I was showing Stu and told him about this over a... we just had a Google Hangout. Stu is High Tech Guy 18, one of my loyal subs, and my go-to brain if I have any kind of electrical questions and so on and so forth. So Stu mentioned, because that this USB item gets warm, and it gets even warmer than this if it's on for about an hour or so. You could take this in a survival situation if you had some sort of power pack with you, like a power bank like this that I'm recharging right now. This thing actually runs on my power bank for a good 4 hours at those voltage and amperage ratings and watts that I showed you. Not obviously not the voltage, because this is 5 volt and we're not on 120 volt. So first of all, this is an item I'm gonna have to recommend everybody get that is interested on my channel. So for one, awesome for indoor growing of any type of vegetable, any type of plant you have. This is all aluminum body here, guys, and then there's the light on this side, and they come in 2 different lengths. There's a shorter one that's about half the size, I believe. I ordered 3 more of this length, the 24 light, off of Wish, and that way I have a good, like, you could set it up, obviously if you're growing on a table, set it up somehow it's plugged in over here and you're growing, you know, obviously you want maybe 1 or at least 2 pointing down at your grow area, and this thing works awesome. So first of all, gardeners, you want to get a head start on your summer garden in the wintertime. This is a go-to for sure. That's why I ordered more. Secondly, uses very little power but produces the best grow light possible, basically. That's just in my opinion of using it for a while now. They're LED lights, so they're very efficient, as you could tell from my kilowatt meter. And then Stu mentioned, getting back to what Stu was saying, you could use this in a survival situation if you had, like I said, a power bank, one of these, and you basically take this under the covers or wherever you're sleeping if you do not have a heat source. This would be your electrical heat source under your covers, and obviously you will be fine. This will this will do magic under the covers, guaranteed. Now the only thing is, because it's a grow light, and if you're under the covers, it's going to produce ultraviolet light, so probably not the best for the skin for hours on end. So obviously you can put some kind of, you know, material over this part where it's blocking out the light penetrating through, and then you'll be just left over with the warmth, which is what you kind of want radiating out. So let's say you're stuck somewhere super cold, you do have a power pack, but you don't have like a heavy duty sleeping bag, but at least it's better than nothing. You can take this in the sleeping bag with you with your power pack carefully, It doesn't get hot enough to catch a fire or flame, but it may burn you. So you want to keep it, as long as it's under there and it's not gonna, you have it positioned comfortably where it's not gonna burn your skin or anything. I think you'll be fine. This thing will get you through the night. It all depends on your power bank though. This big boy here runs this thing for about 4 hours non-stop. Now, and this is like a knockoff cheapie. So if you get a real legit power bank, kind of like the ones that Charles donated to me at the Off-Grid Tiny House, those would probably run this for 24 hours plus, possibly. So if it gets you through a 12-hour period, if you were using it in a survival situation to stay warm and alive and not risk exposure, I guess, yeah, that's pretty awesome. And then obviously the daytime, recharge the power bank with your portable solar panels or wherever, if you're in a situation like that. But anyway, multi-use, multi-purpose device for gardening, for prepping. Obviously, gardening, you're going to get your food production out of this. You're going to get, you know, some heat in a survival situation. And it's very efficient. And being 5 volt, really good for off-gridders. You know, or even if you're on the grid and you want to maybe start growing some vegetables early, 5 volts, guys, is not going to kill your power bill. Especially at those, you just read the wattages and stuff that I just showed on the kilowatt meter. Get a couple of these, just do the math on how much it's going to run. Let's go with the high end. So 6 watts, 0.05 amps, because it did jump up a little bit. And I'm guessing it would get, as it heats up, the amps may go up, fluctuate a little bit. Just my guess. You get 2 of those set up together on a table or something, and that will give you artificial light for your plants long term, because you don't have to run this off a power pack if you're on the grid. Obviously, you can grab some type of USB 120 volt device, plug this thing in, set it up. So obviously this is a bad example because my receptacle is pointing this thing sideways, but I'm sure they make them where the USB cable is pointing down this direction when plugged in, and then you can just have a setup somewhere, or even just build your own DIY. So highly recommend these guys. They're on wish.com. They're probably everywhere else on the internet, but very affordable for what you get. They work very well. My plants move towards this device, so obviously that's a telltale sign that it's working. Plus, my plants have been exploding in growth ever since I've put them on this as a supplemental extra to get them past, you know, before they get outside and into the real sunlight, right? Obviously, you're not going to compete with the sunlight, but in wintertime and pre-garden season, guys, this is an awesome way to get your plants growing without a lot of hassle, and super efficient. So I got 3 more of those coming, and I also ordered for my another video my little telescopic light and camera thing that I'm going to use for the Off-Grid Tiny House fireplace fresh air and exhaust pipes. I want to get the device working, up and running, hooked up to my tablet so I can, and apparently when I do this exploratory thing with the webcam, it will record it somehow on the tablet or cell phone or whatever you're using, and then I can upload it to YouTube and show you guys the actual point of view of the camera going inside the exhaust and fresh air of the tiny house, and possibly, obviously, I can use it for in many other areas around the tiny house and obviously at work. So that's pretty awesome. So pretty happy about this buy, guys. Sorry I didn't do an unboxing, but like I said, it came fast from Wish, and it came in like some kind of transparent plastic bag type of deal. But since I've been using it, and this is actually the first time I've done a check to see how much power it used on camera. I have no idea. I just kept using it on the power pack, and it ran for hours and hours, for up to 4 hours, and then it would automatically shut down, cool down, and then, like I say, I'm just recharging right now the power pack. But this is going to be awesome because you can grow anywhere inside a structure, inside the tiny house. You can get your seedlings started. This thing gives off a decent amount of heat, and you can get it pretty close to the plants without hurting them. Obviously, you want to raise it up after they start sprouting and getting taller. But pretty awesome find, guys, from Wish. It's an item I highly recommend because you can use it in multiple situations, and for prepping, for off-grid, for gardening, it's an all-around go-to. And most LED lights like this, guys, they say 50,000 runtime hours. So I'll be dead by the time that thing burns out. So just go to town with it. Like I say, it's going to be plugged back in later this afternoon once my charging device gets back to full. It's going back in the windowsill to help my plants. Obviously, I can put them out now that we're finally into some heat outside. But I was kind of iffy because we had the weirdest weather this year where it would get hot and then it'd be cold for like 4 days. And then it'd get warm again. And then 4 days of cold. But now it's kind of steadied out. We're getting a nice maintained temperature. I believe it's 80 degrees Fahrenheit outside at the moment. Humidity's not too bad though, which is good. You get that high humidity days and you walk out the door and you're just soaked. Just start sweating, pouring off you. So just wanted to do a little video on this, guys. It's running pretty long, this video, but highly recommend it. That's about all I can say for now. So check that out, guys, and enjoy. See you on the next one.